A successful businessman named Chen Wei collapsed at his desk one afternoon. Not from a heart attack, from the weight of trying to hold everything at once. When the doctor asked what happened, Chen Wei said, "I was lifting stones. 10 of them. I could not put any down." For months, his wife had watched him spiral. Every morning, he woke anxious about his aging parents. At breakfast, his children sat ignored while he answered emails. At work, decisions piled up while he worried about his health. At night, he lay awake thinking about everything he was failing at. He had turned his life into a war where every battle happened at the same time. Here is what no one tells you about goals and responsibilities. The moment you treat everything as equally important, nothing moves forward. You are not prioritizing. You are paralyzed. After Chen Wei left the hospital, his wife took him to meet Master Lu, an old Confucian scholar. Chen Wei expected advice about balance. Instead, Master Lu said, "You think your problem is too much to do. Your problem is you do not know what comes first." Then he asked, "When you try to lift 10 heavy stones at once, how many do you actually move?" None. The answer hit like cold water. Master Lu smiled. "You are trying to do everything at once. Ancient wisdom teaches there is a sequence. Follow it or build on sand." This is where Confucian philosophy becomes practical. Over 2,000 years ago, Confucius taught something simple that changes everything. There is a natural order to human relationships. Ignore this order and you create chaos. Follow it and clarity appears. The first concept is Wu Lun, the 5 relationships. Father and son, ruler and subject, husband and wife, older and younger siblings, friend and friend. But these relationships are not meant to be treated equally. They have sequence. Some form the foundation for others. The second concept is more important. Exhaustion means self-cultivation. This is the root of everything else. Before you can properly care for your family or lead others, you must first cultivate yourself. Not because you're selfish, because an empty well cannot give water. Master Lu explained this using the image of a tree. You cannot grow strong branches before strong roots. There is sequence in nature. There is also sequence in life. Chen Wei asked what everyone asks. But what about emergencies? Master Lu opened the Great Learning, a foundational Confucian text. He pointed to a passage outlining 8 steps. It starts with investigating things to gain knowledge, then sincerity of intention, rectification of the mind, self-cultivation, family harmony, proper governance, and finally peace in the world. Each step builds on the one before. Try to govern without self-cultivation, and you fail. Try to bring peace without harmony in your relationships, and you create more chaos. Here is the twist. Following this sequence does not mean you ignore urgent things. It means you stop treating urgency as the guide. Most people spend their lives reacting to whatever screams loudest. You jump from emergency to emergency and call it responsibility. But urgency and importance are not the same thing. The modern world teaches you wrong. Balance means giving equal time to everything. Career, family, health, friends. Slice yourself into equal portions. But when everything matters equally, every choice feels like betrayal. You help your parents and feel guilty about your children. The guilt never stops because you have no foundation. A woman named Zhèngmíng worked at a nonprofit helping struggling families. She gave everything to the work, but she stopped eating properly, stopped exercising, burned out completely. Her marriage began to fracture. She had to step away entirely. Her desire to serve was genuine, but she tried to fill other people's cups while her own was empty. When someone told her about Exhaustion, she felt angry. It sounded selfish. Then she understood. Self-cultivation is not about putting yourself first emotionally. It is about building the foundation first structurally. She started with simple daily practices, eating properly, walking, creating stillness. As her foundation stabilized, something unexpected happened. She did not have to force herself to be present with her husband. The energy was just there. She returned to her work with clear boundaries. She helped more people in the next year than in the previous 3. Not because she tried harder, because she followed the proper sequence. The concept of Wu Lun teaches what most people resist. Your relationship with yourself comes first through self-cultivation. Then come your closest relationships. These are your training ground. If you cannot maintain harmony in your household, you are not ready to lead others. Only after your foundation is stable can you extend outward to work and broader service. This does not mean you ignore work while perfecting yourself. It means you know what comes first when everything demands attention at once. A businessman named Liu Jian applied this after years of confusion. He had treated client demands and family time as competing equals. Every day became a negotiation. Which fire to put out first? The constant choosing wore him down. Then he learned to ask a different question. Not what is most urgent, but what is most foundational. His health came first. His marriage came second. His children came third. His business came fourth. When a client wanted a late meeting during family dinner, there was no internal war. The foundation comes before the extension. This is not about caring less. When you face a decision and feel torn, you are not choosing between good and bad. You are choosing between what is foundational and what is built on top. Follow the sequence, and the answer stops being painful. Chen Wei discovered this 6 months later. The hierarchy is not restriction. It is liberation. When he stopped trying to do everything at once, he could finally see what needed doing. He started with 20 minutes of morning stillness. Those 20 minutes created a center he had not felt in years. From that center, he could be present with his family. His children started talking to him again. His wife stopped looking sad. As his home became stable, his work decisions became sharper. He stopped second-guessing because he knew the order. When his parents needed help, he could offer it without resentment. The sequence creates a cascade of strength. When you cultivate yourself first, you have something to offer. When you create harmony in close relationships, you learn how relationship works. Each level supports the next. Skip a level, and everything above becomes unstable. Here is how to apply this to your life. 1. Write down everything that feels important. Do not organize it yet. Just see it all. 2. Ask which of these requires you to be stable first. That is self-cultivation. Put it at the foundation. 3. Identify your closest relationships. These come second. 4. Place work and broader contributions after your foundation is solid. 5. When facing difficult decisions, ask not what is most urgent, but what is most foundational. The ancient teachers understood something we keep forgetting. Trying to do everything at once is how nothing gets done. You do not need more ambition or better time management. You need to know the order of cultivation. Build from the root outward, and everything you build will be stable. Ignore the root, and everything eventually collapses. Write in the comments, I will honor the proper sequence. Thank you for watching.